Oh, okay, so we were talking about before, like music, like maybe music from your childhood, or like not even music, but like songs or songs that have been written. Like maybe it'll come on. I know for me, like even recently, but even throughout my childhood, the song will come on, whether it was like an oldie or maybe like a worship song or just anything, and it just
Yeah.
kind of touched me emotionally. Is there
Mhm.
any songs like that do that for you? Just kind
There
of
is
like,
songs. Yeah. There's I mean, when you hit me up on the spot like that, it's like, oh
yeah,
man, now I can't think of what songs do that to me. But there's a ton of songs, you know what I mean? That as soon as I hear like the first note, you know what I mean? It'll bring back, of course, like the childhood is always like that because that's that moment of innocence. You know what I mean? You don't have no responsibility. You don't have to deal with the pressures of life and one of the songs that really gets me going and brings a tear to my eyes all the time is Hell's Bells.
yeah.
I'm just joking. No, there's actually
That was a good one.
there's actually a few Phil Keaggy songs that bring me back to that place, and I didn't even understand at the time when I was a kid, but I seen that my dad listened to them, and there were songs that like encouraged him spiritually and emotionally, and at the same time that those songs were impacting his life, they were impacting mine too, even at a young age, just watching him be touched by songs like that. And there's a ton of other songs, not necessarily Christian songs, but just songs that'll relate, like you said, you know what I mean, just childhood stuff. And I wish I had more time, I'd remember them, but they're out there, a ton of them.
Yeah, just even like some of the oldies or whatever,
Yeah.
Anything, just.
Oh yeah, there's songs that
talking
make me,
about.
remind me of my grandmother and
Yeah.
or my mom or my dad, or just
Yeah, exactly.
or bring me back to a time when my family was struggling, and I remember having that feeling. You know what I mean? It'd be some old rock songs. You know what I mean? But yeah, music's a powerful thing, man. It stirs up all the
Exactly.
emotions that other things can't really do.
And now I'm gonna put this on you. I know it's not really fair, but in that kind of like subject we're talking about, any of your guys' songs, maybe even something off of this greatest hits that's coming out, anything that's kind of like hits you. I know for me the other day, I brought up Satellite. I was actually at the gym and Satellite came on, and it did the same thing. It just kind of touched me emotionally. And there's a lot of the fans that say the same type of thing about your guys' songs.
I was like when I was working on my skate shop, like last year. I was in. We weren't touring, and I was like in there, like tearing down the walls and painting with my brother-in-law. We would stay there till late at night, and we play music. And one of the guys that was there brought in like the live P.O.D. Record, and dude, it was honestly it was years, because we don't really play. I mean, we play the stuff live so much, we don't really like go back and like pop the disc in, you know what I mean, and listen to it because we hear it so much. But when I heard like the live show, like in context, you know what I mean, those kind of things to me, even being in the band, like just hearing it from the outside, I could see like how powerful God is, and not that we're doing anything special or anything like that, but I could just see it from the outside, and it's like that to me. That's when I feel it in our music, and yeah, man, I'll go back and I'll play like Satellite Records or Fundamental, and I'll be like, dude, that was cool. Even though you're in the band and you're like, you play the songs and you write the songs with everybody and you're a part of it, it's still like something that never gets played out. You know what I mean? And the message is powerful. You know what I mean? In certain songs to me, like Say La and Full Color and all those kind of songs. To me, those songs like they'll even bring a tear to my eyes. It's like, dang, man, that's. Oh, I'm glad I was a part of that song. Just being a part of it was cool. You know what I'm saying? To me, and that's cool if you're in a band that you can look back and feel that way still. After 15 years, I love that feeling. That's what keeps us going.
But even with that, like you brought up Selah, and I don't know about most of the fans, but I know at least with me when I'm reading like Psalms, and there's a pause and Selah's there. And I don't want to make this trivial at all, but it brings me back to that. You guys, I guess it puts into context what you guys wrote in that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that speaks of a time of P.O.D. or in our lives that like that's what God was, that's what He had for us then. You know what I mean? And the hunger and the things that we needed to hear and be encouraged by with touring and with fans and interacting with other Christians that would build our faith and make it what it is today. And that's that time. And I look back and sometimes I'm like, man, how come we can't dig deep and grab some of those songs? And well, you know what? We've covered those bases, and how many times can you really cover those bases? You know what I mean? Even though you still want to be able to do that, you want them to be effective. You want the songs to be effective, and so the only way you could do that is just by talking about where you're at now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And in that time of our lives, we're young and we're aggressive and we're hungry and we're searching and seeking for answers, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why those songs are special to me. You know what I mean? For that time.
Yeah.
And I've always loved the older stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, that's the root of what P.O.D. is. Always will be.
Definitely. Well, now that I got you on camera, I'm just gonna tell you this, and I think I'm gonna tell you this from a lot of the fans, is that through your guys' music, you guys have touched and affected a lot of people's lives. And I'm not just saying this for any interview aspect, but you guys have truly, and God's used you guys. And I think a lot of people think you gotta be of a certain caliber for God to use you. And that's not it. We're just like mere men, and God uses us.
That's the truth.
How does that feel to you? You know what I mean? I know it's a lot to soak in, and I hate to drop that on you right now, but
no, it's the easy answer is to say it's humbling, and it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my faults. Nobody else knows my faults. You know what I mean? And like you said, you are just a mere man here, and you are struggling through life and going through the ups and downs, and at the same time to be a part of P.O.D. the entity or whatever, not the individuals. It's just a testament to how God can use some real jacked up dudes, you know what I'm saying? People that ain't perfect, and guys that don't do everything right, and never have we said that we're that kind of people, but at the same time, how God will still bless and use you if you have the unity, you know what I mean, and the belief to do it, and you're united in that way, and you want to tell people about the things that have unified you that way. It's it's unstoppable, and it's just only a testament to how powerful God is. And I hear stories all the time, and we get letters, and it blows my mind. It's like you don't know. There's no way that you can possibly know, what's going on outside of the band, and how the music touches people, and how in the corners of the world, somebody's listening to the lyrics, or whatever. They're getting hyped on the music or whatever. You just don't know.
Yeah.
That's what's so powerful about music, and I'm glad and I'm honored that I get to be a part of this band. And it's just a blessing. I thank God for it every day. For sure.